Every human being carries an inner storm, even if outwardly they appear calm. This storm consists of thoughts, doubts, fears, and unfinished reflections that never leave the mind. You might be surrounded by people, smiling, working, and appearing to live a normal life, yet internally feel like everything is barely holding together. This is not a sign of weakness. It's a natural part of being human. Awareness is the first step to mastering your mind. Begin by noticing when negative thoughts arise. Observe them without judgment. Stop labeling yourself for having them. Many thoughts are echoes of the past, fears about the future, or reactions to events beyond your control. Just because a thought appears in your mind doesn't make it true. By recognizing this, you create a space between yourself and your thoughts, a space where choice exists. This awareness allows you to see that thoughts are temporary. They are passing clouds in the sky of your consciousness. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer. When you recognize this, you stop being pulled around by every fear, doubt, or worry. You begin to see opportunities to respond intentionally instead of reacting automatically. Understanding the storm within also means accepting it. Don't resist what arises. Don't suppress or ignore it, but observe it patiently. Each time you notice a negative thought without immediately reacting, you gain mental strength. Over time, this practice reduces the noise inside your mind, bringing clarity and calm. The more often you recognize the storm, the more control you gain. Mental freedom begins with awareness. In short, recognizing the mental storm within is about observing, not judging, noticing, not reacting, and understanding that your thoughts do not define you. This is the foundation of clarity, focus, and inner resilience. Once you've recognized the storm within, the next step is detachment. Detachment doesn't mean ignoring your thoughts or pretending they don't exist. It means stepping back and observing them without judgment. Imagine your mind as a sky and your thoughts as clouds passing through it. Some clouds are dark and heavy, others light and fleeting. You don't need to chase them or push them away. You simply notice them. Most people mistake thoughts for reality. A doubt appears, and immediately they believe it, react to it, or let it dictate their mood. But detachment allows you to see thoughts for what they are. Temporary mental events, not truths. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer who notices them. This subtle shift creates freedom. Observation without attachment also allows you to see patterns. Certain thoughts arise repeatedly: fear of failure, anxiety about the future, self-criticism. When you watch these patterns unfold, you stop reacting automatically. You gain insight into triggers and habitual responses. Awareness transforms the mind from a battlefield into a garden. The weeds of repetitive negativity become visible, and you can decide which to cultivate and which to ignore. Detachment strengthens focus. When your attention is not hijacked by every passing idea, you can direct energy toward what truly matters. You learn to pause before responding, to choose your actions intentionally, and to avoid the chaos of reactive living. It builds resilience, because the storms that once tossed you around now pass while you remain steady. This practice takes patience. At first, detachment may feel unnatural. The mind resists stillness. But with consistency, you learn to sit with thoughts, acknowledge them, and let them pass without judgment. In this space, clarity arises. You begin to experience mental freedom, a calm center amidst the noise. In short, detachment is not disconnection. It's mindful observation. It's the act of seeing your thoughts clearly without becoming them. And it is the gateway to focus, peace, and conscious living. One of the most powerful tools for mental clarity is understanding the difference between what you can control and what you cannot. Most of the stress, anxiety, and mental clutter we experience comes from trying to manage things beyond our influence. Other people's opinions, outcomes, or past events. The Stoics taught that energy spent on the uncontrollable is wasted, while attention directed toward what you can influence leads to clarity and inner strength. Begin by identifying what is truly within your control: your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, and your decisions. You cannot control the weather, the mistakes of others, or how the world unfolds, but you can control your response. By consistently returning your focus to what you can shape, you reduce mental noise and create space for meaningful action. This approach also helps you detach from unnecessary worry. When a challenge arises, instead of spiraling into what-if scenarios, ask yourself, what can I do right now that matters? Direct your energy toward those actions. This small but deliberate focus shifts your mind from chaos to purpose. Focusing on control strengthens your resilience. Life will always present uncertainty, but a mind trained to act on what matters does not crumble under pressure. You start to see that most fears and anxieties are projections of imagined consequences, not reality. You regain the freedom to choose your actions intentionally rather than react emotionally. Daily practice is key. Start with simple routines, prioritize tasks, make decisions consciously, and accept what you cannot change. Over time, this focus becomes habit. Your mind naturally filters distractions and settles on productive paths. In short, clarity and focus are cultivated by directing attention to your sphere of influence. Let go of what you cannot control, take responsibility for what you can, and let your energy flow where it is effective. This principle is the cornerstone of inner calm and purposeful living. Amid the storm of thoughts and mental clutter, the breath is the most immediate tool to regain clarity. Breathing is not just a biological function, it's a bridge between the mind and body. When anxiety, stress, or overwhelming thoughts arise, the breath often becomes shallow and erratic, reflecting the chaos inside. By consciously regulating your breathing, you signal to your mind and nervous system that it's safe to slow down, to pause, and to regain control. Start with simple awareness. Notice your inhale and exhale. Don't force it. Simply observe, then gradually deepen your breath, allowing it to fill the lungs fully and release completely. A pattern like 4-count inhale, 4-count hold, 6-count exhale is effective for calming the nervous system. Each conscious breath interrupts automatic mental reactions, creating space between stimulus and response, the space where clarity is born. Breathing also reconnects you with the present moment. Most mental storms arise from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. The breath anchors you to now, reminding you that this moment is the only one you can influence. By returning to your breath regularly, you train your mind to disengage from the constant mental chatter and focus on what matters. This practice can be applied anytime during work, before responding to a stressful message, or even in moments of conflict. Each breath acts like a reset button, giving your mind a chance to pause, recalibrate, and choose a deliberate response rather than a reactive one. Over time, conscious breathing strengthens your emotional resilience, improves focus, and cultivates inner calm, even amidst chaos. In short, the breath is a powerful, accessible tool to reset your mind. Observe it, deepen it, and let it anchor you. With each intentional breath, you create a pause, a space to detach from unnecessary mental noise and regain control. Clarity grows when you learn to breathe through the storm. A crucial part of mental clarity is learning to accept what lies beyond your control. Life constantly presents situations that we cannot alter, other people's actions, unexpected events, or outcomes of past decisions. Resistance to these realities only fuels frustration, anxiety, and mental clutter. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or passivity. It means acknowledging reality, honestly, and redirecting energy toward what you can influence. Start by identifying the facts of the situation. Ask yourself, is this within my control? Can I change it? If the answer is no, stop arguing with reality. Stop spending energy on what should have been or if only scenarios. Acceptance is the first step to liberation. It allows you to conserve mental resources for action rather than conflict with circumstances. This practice also changes your emotional response. When you stop resisting what cannot be changed, tension decreases. The mind is no longer trapped in a cycle of blame, regret, or frustration. Instead, you cultivate calmness and focus, and your energy can be invested in constructive choices. Stoics believed that it is not events themselves but our judgment of them that disturbs us. By accepting the uncontrollable, you regain control over your own reactions. Acceptance is also an act of self-compassion. When you release the illusion that you can manage everything, you stop punishing yourself for outcomes beyond your reach. You begin to respond to life from a place of clarity rather than fear. Over time, this practice builds resilience. You will become less reactive to external circumstances and more grounded in your own principles and values. In short, mental clarity emerges when you distinguish between what you can and cannot change. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means choosing wisely where to invest your energy. Let go of the uncontrollable, embrace reality, and direct your focus toward action, growth, and inner peace. Holding on to the past is one of the heaviest burdens on the mind. regrets, mistakes, and unresolved experiences replay constantly, creating noise and distraction. Yet the past cannot be changed. The Stoics remind us that dwelling on what has already happened only steals energy from the present moment, the only moment in which we can act and grow. Mental clarity begins when you consciously release attachment to what no longer serves you. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or pretending the past didn't happen. It means acknowledging the events, learning the lessons, and then freeing yourself from their emotional grip. Ask yourself, does holding on to this memory improve my present, or does it keep me trapped? Recognizing the difference allows you to redirect your energy toward what truly matters now. Practically, letting go can take many forms. Journaling helps by externalizing thoughts that repeat endlessly in the mind. Reflection allows you to analyze lessons without getting lost in emotion. Even small rituals, like taking a walk or meditating on forgiveness, can signal to your mind that it's safe to release lingering tension. Over time, these practices reduce the power of past events over your current decisions and mood. Letting go also creates space for focus. When the mind isn't cluttered with old regrets or what-ifs, you can direct attention fully to meaningful tasks, relationships, and personal growth. The weight of the past no longer anchors your energy. Instead, your awareness and presence expand, and clarity naturally emerges. In short, the past is a teacher, not a prison. Acknowledge its lessons, release its chains, and reclaim the present. True mental freedom and the ability to focus arises when you let go of what has already passed, making room for what is possible today. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in each moment, observing your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. It is a cornerstone of mental clarity because it allows you to step back from the constant chatter of the mind and witness your inner world objectively. When practiced consistently, mindfulness trains the mind to notice distractions before they pull you into overwhelm, helping you stay grounded and focused. Start small. Dedicate a few minutes each day to observe your breath, bodily sensations, or the sounds around you. When a thought arises, whether it's a worry, regret, or anticipation, simply notice it without attaching a story or judgment. Think of yourself as a calm observer of your mind, rather than a prisoner to it. This simple shift in perspective creates mental space, where clarity and calm can emerge. Mindfulness also strengthens your emotional resilience. By observing thoughts and emotions without immediate reaction, you reduce the likelihood of impulsive responses or negative spirals. Over time, you recognize patterns in your thinking, which thoughts are recurring, which are constructive, and which are merely noise. This awareness allows you to consciously choose where to invest your attention, rather than being swept away by automatic reactions. Daily mindfulness can be applied beyond formal practice. While walking, eating, working, or talking to someone, bring your attention fully to the present moment. Notice the sensations, the actions, and the context. This ongoing practice trains the mind to focus naturally, reduces stress, and enhances mental clarity. In short, mindfulness is the art of observing without attachment. Daily practice builds the mental muscle to notice thoughts without being consumed by them, to respond with intention instead of habit, and to create space for focus, calm, and purposeful action. The more you practice, the more clarity becomes your default state, rather than a temporary escape. Mental clarity cannot thrive in an environment filled with constant interruptions. Distractions fragment attention, scatter energy, and prevent deep focus. In the digital age, notifications, social media, and multitasking create a continuous stream of stimuli that hijack the mind, leaving it restless and unfocused. To reclaim your mental space, it is essential to limit these distractions intentionally. Start by identifying the biggest sources of interruption in your daily life. Is it your phone, unnecessary meetings, or endless browsing? Once recognized, set boundaries. Turn off notifications, designate specific times to check messages, and create dedicated periods for focused work or reflection. Even short intervals of uninterrupted attention, 30 to 60 minutes, allow your mind to enter a state of flow, where clarity and creativity naturally emerge. Physical environment also plays a role. A cluttered space mirrors a cluttered mind. Simplify your surroundings. Keep only what is necessary within reach. A clean, organized environment signals to your brain that it can relax and focus. Likewise, consider using headphones or quiet spaces to reduce auditory distractions. Limiting distractions is not about isolation or avoidance. It's about prioritization. When you reduce irrelevant inputs, your brain can allocate more energy to what truly matters. You begin to notice subtleties, make better decisions, and think more clearly. The mind becomes less reactive to external triggers and more intentional in its actions. In short, distractions steal focus, energy, and mental clarity. By intentionally limiting interruptions, digital, environmental, and social, you create space for awareness, reflection, and productive thought. The more you control what enters your mind, the more power you reclaim over your attention. Clarity emerges not by doing more, but by allowing the mind to engage fully with what truly deserves it. Mental clarity is impossible without understanding what truly matters. Life is full of tasks, obligations, and opportunities, but not all demand your energy or attention. Setting clear priorities allows you to focus on what aligns with your values and goals, instead of reacting to everything that comes your way. This is the essence of intentional living. Begin by reflecting on your long-term objectives and core values. What outcomes genuinely matter to you? Which tasks contribute to growth, fulfillment, or purpose? And which are distractions or obligations imposed by external pressures? By distinguishing between the two, you direct your energy toward what truly counts. The Stoics emphasized that time and attention are finite. Once spent, they cannot be reclaimed. Misallocated focus leads to mental clutter, stress, and a feeling of being constantly behind. Practical prioritization involves creating a hierarchy. Identify the top 3 actions each day that will bring you closer to your meaningful goals. Do them first, before engaging with less critical tasks or distractions. This strategy not only ensures progress but also reduces anxiety, because you are acting deliberately rather than being reactive. Setting priorities also requires saying no. Many people allow external demands to dictate their schedule, leaving no space for focus. Learn to decline requests, postpone non-essential tasks, and remove obligations that do not serve your purpose. Each no strengthens your control over your attention and preserves mental energy. In short, clarity grows when you know what deserves your focus. By setting clear priorities, acting on them first, and protecting your attention from less important demands, you create a disciplined, intentional approach to life. Your mind is no longer scattered across trivialities. It becomes a tool to achieve what truly matters, enhancing both productivity and inner peace. The key to clearing your mind and staying focused is learning to live in the present. Many distractions and mental disturbances come from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. When your mind constantly drifts to what was or what could be, you lose energy and clarity. Start by noticing where your attention is. Are you thinking about something that already happened or something that might happen? If yes, gently bring your focus back to the current moment. Next, use your senses to anchor yourself. Notice what you see, hear, and feel right now. Pay attention to your breath, the sensations in your body, or the sounds around you. This simple practice grounds your mind and prevents it from wandering into unproductive thoughts. Another important step is to prioritize your actions. Focus only on what you can control at this moment. Break tasks into small steps and tackle them one by one. Avoid multitasking, because splitting attention decreases mental clarity. Over time, consistently bringing your mind back to the present will train your focus. You will notice fewer distractions, less overthinking, and more mental energy to dedicate to what really matters. Remember, clarity and calm come from being fully engaged in the now. Don't chase past mistakes or future worries. Focus on the present, and your mind will naturally become clearer, calmer, and more productive. Many mental blocks come from holding on to worries that you cannot control. Constantly thinking about what might go wrong or fearing outcomes drains your focus and energy. To free your mind, start by identifying what is truly within your control and what is not. Next, consciously release the things you cannot influence. Remind yourself that stressing over them does not change the outcome. It only distracts you from what matters now. Practice this daily by pausing whenever a worry arises. Ask yourself, is this something I can act on right now? If the answer is no, let it go. Visualize placing that worry aside, like setting down a heavy bag you've been carrying. Another useful step is to shift attention to solutions, not problems. Focus on actions you can take, however small, instead of ruminating endlessly on fears. This trains the mind to prioritize productive thoughts and strengthens mental resilience. Over time, letting go of unnecessary worries will reduce mental clutter. You will notice more space for focus, creativity, and calmness in daily life. Your mind becomes a tool, not a prison, because you no longer feed it with thoughts that pull you away from the present moment. By practicing this consistently, you reclaim energy, clarity, and control over your attention. The less you chase worries, the more power you have to focus on what truly matters. A cluttered mind often comes from tension, stress, or rapid thoughts. One of the fastest ways to regain focus is through deep, conscious breathing. Breathing deeply signals your body to relax, which in turn quiets the mind. Start by taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose, letting your abdomen expand. Hold it for a few seconds, then exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeat this cycle for a few minutes. Focus only on the sensation of your breath entering and leaving your body. Deep breathing helps create space between thoughts and reactions. When a stressful or distracting thought appears, notice it, but return attention to your breath. This trains your mind to pause before reacting, increasing mental clarity. You can use deep breathing anytime before starting work, during breaks, or when stress arises. Pair it with mindful observation of your surroundings to anchor your mind in the present. Over time, this practice reduces mental noise, enhances focus, and strengthens self-control. Your mind becomes less reactive to distractions and more capable of sustained attention. Remember, clarity isn't achieved by forcing thoughts away. It's developed by calming your body and observing your mind. Deep breathing is a simple yet powerful tool to create that mental space. In today's world, constant notifications, social media, and digital alerts can clutter your mind and reduce focus. To maintain mental clarity, it's essential to manage your digital environment. Start by identifying apps, platforms, or devices that frequently distract you. Then, take practical steps to limit their influence. This can include turning off non-essential notifications, setting specific times to check emails or messages, and avoiding aimless scrolling. Create focus periods. During the day when your phone or computer notifications are silenced, use this time to concentrate fully on tasks, meditate, or simply reflect without interruptions. These intentional breaks help your mind rest and recharge. Another helpful strategy is to declutter your digital space. Organize files, delete unused apps, and streamline your digital workflow. A clean digital environment reduces mental friction and allows your brain to focus on what truly matters. Over time, minimizing digital distractions trains your mind to stay present and resist the urge to constantly check devices. You become more aware of where your attention goes and can direct it toward productive and meaningful activities. Remember, the mind can only focus on so much at once. By reducing digital noise, you reclaim mental energy, improve clarity, and strengthen your ability to stay concentrated on the present. Mental clarity grows when you learn to observe your thoughts without judgment. Often, we react immediately to every idea, fear, or distraction, which creates stress and confusion. Mindful observation teaches you to pause and witness your thoughts instead of being consumed by them. Start by setting aside a few minutes each day to simply notice what arises in your mind. Don't try to change or suppress anything. Just watch thoughts pass like clouds in the sky. Recognize patterns such as recurring worries, self-doubt, or assumptions, but maintain a calm, detached perspective. When a negative or distracting thought appears, label it gently. This is just a thought, or this is not reality, just my mind reacting. By doing this, you separate yourself from the mental noise and reduce its power over your emotions and decisions. Mindful observation also helps you respond intentionally rather than react impulsively. You gain space to choose how to act, what to focus on, and what to ignore. Over time, this practice strengthens self-awareness, reduces stress, and improves concentration. Incorporate mindfulness into daily activities, such as walking, eating, or even working. Observe sensations, thoughts, and emotions in the present moment. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to maintain a clear and focused mind throughout the day. One of the biggest obstacles to a clear mind is multitasking. Constantly switching between tasks scatters attention and increases mental fatigue. To maintain focus, practice doing one thing at a time. Start by prioritizing your tasks. Identify what truly matters for the day, and dedicate uninterrupted time to each activity. Avoid checking emails, messages, or social media while working on a task. Give your full attention to the present activity, no matter how small. This single-minded focus allows your brain to enter a state of flow, where productivity and clarity naturally increase. You notice details, think more deeply, and complete tasks more efficiently. Over time, your mind becomes trained to resist distractions and sustain attention longer. Pair this practice with short breaks. After finishing a focused session, pause, breathe, and reset. This prevents mental exhaustion and keeps your clarity sharp. Remember, mental clarity is not about doing more, but about doing what matters most with full attention. By focusing on one task at a time, you reduce stress, enhance your effectiveness, and create space for calm, intentional thinking. A clear and focused mind grows through regular reflection. Taking time each day to examine your thoughts, emotions, and reactions allows you to understand patterns and make conscious choices about where to direct your energy. Set aside a few minutes each day, preferably in the morning or evening, to review your mental state. Ask yourself, what thoughts dominated my mind today? Which ones helped me grow, and which ones distracted or drained me? Which emotions repeated, and why? Writing in a journal can be especially effective. Simply note down your thoughts, worries, or ideas without filtering. This act externalizes mental clutter, reducing its weight and allowing your mind to breathe. Reflection helps you identify recurring mental traps, such as self-doubt, negative assumptions, or overthinking. By recognizing these patterns, you gain the ability to respond differently the next time they appear. Over time, daily reflection strengthens self-awareness and improves focus. Your mind becomes more intentional, less reactive, and better at distinguishing what deserves attention from what is merely noise. Remember, clarity doesn't come by ignoring your thoughts. It comes from understanding them and choosing how to act. Daily reflection creates that space for awareness, calm, and purposeful focus. A scattered mind often comes from constant digital interruptions, social media, and endless messages. To clear your mind and maintain focus, you need to set boundaries with technology. Start by identifying which apps or platforms consume most of your attention unnecessarily. Turn off non-essential notifications or use Do Not Disturb mode during focused work or personal reflection time. Consider scheduling specific windows for checking emails or social media. Instead of reacting constantly, creating a environment allows your mind to settle and reduces the constant mental noise that fragments attention. Even small changes, like keeping your phone in another room while working or meditating, can dramatically improve focus. When you limit digital distractions, you give your brain the space to think deeply, process emotions, and solve problems effectively. This practice not only increases productivity but also enhances mental clarity and emotional well-being. Remember, your attention is valuable. Each time you allow unnecessary notifications or online content to hijack it, you drain energy and focus. By controlling your digital environment, you reclaim that energy, strengthen concentration, and create a calmer, more intentional mind. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to clear your mind is through mindful breathing. When your thoughts are racing or negativity creeps in, focusing on your breath helps anchor you to the present moment. Start with just a few minutes a day. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take slow, deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, filling your lungs fully. Hold briefly, and exhale slowly through your mouth. Pay attention to the sensation of air entering and leaving your body. Mindful breathing calms the nervous system, reduces stress, and helps break the cycle of overthinking. When practiced regularly, it strengthens your ability to pause before reacting, giving you more control over your thoughts and emotions. You can use this technique anytime before a challenging task, during a stressful moment, or whenever you feel mental clutter building up. Over time, these short breathing exercises become a mental reset button, helping you maintain clarity, focus, and emotional balance. Remember, your mind responds to where your attention goes. By intentionally focusing on your breath, you create space between yourself and your thoughts, allowing clarity and focus to emerge naturally. The people and environment around you have a huge impact on your mental clarity. Surrounding yourself with positive influences, supportive friends, inspiring mentors, or calming spaces helps reduce negativity and strengthens focus. Pay attention to who you spend the most time with. Are their conversations uplifting or draining? Do they encourage growth or feed doubt? Choosing to spend time with people who motivate, support, and challenge you positively can drastically reduce mental clutter. Your environment matters too. A clean, organized space reduces distractions and signals to your mind that it's time to focus. Even small changes, like decluttering your workspace or adding calming elements, can improve concentration and mental clarity. Being around positivity doesn't mean avoiding challenges or negative emotions, but it helps create a mental buffer that allows you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. By curating your social circle and environment, you protect your mental energy. You strengthen your focus, reduce internal noise, and cultivate a mindset where clarity naturally thrives. Daily reflection is a powerful habit for maintaining mental clarity and focus. Taking a few minutes at the end of each day to review your thoughts, actions, and emotions helps you process experiences instead of letting them pile up. You can do this through journaling, meditation, or simply sitting quietly and thinking about your day. Ask yourself questions like, what went well today? What distracted me? What can I improve tomorrow? This practice helps you identify patterns in your thinking, recognize unhelpful habits, and celebrate small wins. Daily reflection creates a sense of control over your mind. It allows you to let go of unnecessary mental clutter and focus on what truly matters. When done consistently, it strengthens self-awareness, decision-making, and emotional resilience. Even just 5 minutes a day can make a big difference. By reviewing your thoughts and experiences, you train your mind to respond instead of react, stay focused, and maintain clarity amidst life's challenges. Remember, mental clarity isn't about thinking more, it's about understanding yourself and your patterns. Daily reflection is the key to unlocking that understanding and keeping your mind clear, calm, and focused.